You gotta be impressed with the fact that she gets a pacemaker put in one day and she's back in the job.
I know you're not speaking like in political terms, but I know a lot of people here are trying to figure out what can we do. And I know you've talked a lot about it and making calls and so forth, but it is very overwhelming. So what specific things do you think that we can do to help you help our party, if you're going along party line, resist? I guess that's what I really want. Some insight from you.
So some of the things I've already talked about can be very powerful. Whether, it is the numbers that impress members of Congress and the President of the United States, right? So organize efforts on specific issues. Now, it's going to be exhausting because in the first 5 days, there's a lot, right? But I do think that Congress will respond. I mean, you've already had people like Lindsey Graham saying, Mr. President, knock it off, right?
That's right.
So, after 5 days, he's getting intolerant of that. So I think we just have to make sure that as, voices in this country, in a democratic system, that democracy plays out. Yes.
Yes, Jackie, you see, we want to, communicate with the president. I'm afraid he'd make a call, he'd write a letter. What I'm afraid? I'm afraid he'll send the gulag people to throw me in the gulag.
Well, I don't think you have to worry
But
about that.
I'm sorry, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to communicate with as much as I can with Rob. I've already been to Kamala Harris's. I'm going to be in opposition. But at the same time, I'm also, retired military, working with my TRICARE. I'm worried about it at the same time. Because if the ACA goes away, that'll put a ripple effect on Medicare, and then TRICARE says, well, guess what, Mr. Miller, we're going to have to start charging you prime. Well, by God, I've worked since I was 17. It would cost me more money. And at the same time, I'm afraid if I send one letter to that White House, I'll have his goons showing up.
No, let's not talk like that, really.
Well,
that
I can't
is,
help but be a little fear.
okay, but,
So thank you.
okay.
Fear is real.
It is real.
Everyone
He's
is
got us.
very scared.
Okay, but you know what, it's important,
It's
it's important not to be scared. I mean, that's part of why I wanted to have these gatherings. And I hope that I'm going to instill a sense of empowerment to you, because our country has withstood terrible presidents, and we've survived. I'm not passing a judgment yet on this president. I'm just saying.
I wanted to bring up guns.
Yes.
And, your background check didn't get by last year. Are you going to do that again?
I will introduce it again, but can I tell you something? It's not going to be taken up. But what is being taken up and what we have to be very concerned about is a bill that basically is going to say that there is reciprocity for concealed carry.
Right.
No.
And they're going to be coming over
I'm
here.
telling you what they're introducing. I'm telling you what the NRA is introducing and
Right.
why it's going to be so important to respond to it. Because it's basically going to say, if you are from a state that has concealed carry, whether you have to be permitted or not,
Right.
you have reciprocity to go in any other state, whether they have a concealed carry law. That's how bad it is.
And we have the toughest laws. Look, and then he wants to allow guns in schools.
Some states have already allowed that.
Right. Yeah. And he wants
So,
to make that universal.
I know it's kind of overwhelming to think of all the battles that are going to have to be waged here, but in fact, there is this. Sometimes it's this pent-up zeal once you've got both houses to kind of shove it all in, right? You're going to get it all through, and they're going to overreach, and then some of the stuff is just going to come tumbling down. Yes.
Hi, thank you again for that. It's upsetting when we hear things that are taken off the White House website, like climate change, like LGBT issues,
affordable
Like the
care.
Spanish language. What was that about? It just feels so mean-spirited, Congressman. I don't understand why they're doing that.
I don't know that we can dictate to the president what he puts up on his website.
Right.
But that's a good thing to communicate to him about. And I would recommend that you do it. If there's enough blowback that, wait a minute, you've taken things off that, you know, do not reflect the values of this country.
Just this is a PS.
Yeah, okay, PS.
It's a PS about taxes. Because while all the run-up to the election, we had to hear this guy say that he did, and he has to show his tax return, but he didn't pay taxes because he was smart. And I think a lot of people in this room consider themselves to not be exactly stupid, and we're paying our taxes. And how do you, I mean, what would be, I've even heard people suggesting a movement that we as citizens do not pay our taxes.
Here, here.
No taxation without representation.
All right, I'm not going to recommend that you don't do it. Although I'll tell you, my husband has suggested that to me, and I said, because he sort of has the same feeling about you. This guy is going to pay his taxes. Why should I? But it's because we are a country of laws, and we respect the law.
But why is he above the law?
He is not. No one is. No one is above the law. No one.
Well,
If the law.
You know, I think one of the biggest problems that we're all understanding is this wordsmithing of things. They used Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act. They had already demonized President Obama, so they attached that onto him. And people now are realizing, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually losing my health care.
Yeah.
You know, I spent 39 years in marketing and advertising. I can tell you, you can sell crap to anybody. And it's all wordsmithing. You all remember new and improved, and now it's organic and all natural. The reality of it is you have to be mindful of all these things that they are actually the way they're putting information and disseminating information out there from the White House, his press secretary.
Spicer.
Speier. I mean, the strangest things that we're all frustrated a little bit. I think I can feel the frustration in it. And we don't want to let it turn into anger where it starts to internally hurt ourselves. But the reality of it is you have representatives of other states, and we know for a fact that if you try to reach out to them, they will tell you they do not represent you.
Yeah.
And they will hang up or not accept your information that goes out.
That's right. So I would not spend a lot of time calling members in other states. Have your family members in those other states call those representatives. You know, in the end, what will turn this around is when the members of Congress that haven't seen the light yet all of a sudden realize that their office is in jeopardy. Because first and foremost, they're going to take care of themselves. Now, what's interesting, and it's, we're going to have to see how it plays out. Remember when that horrible video of then Donald Trump back in 1995 was on that bus?
It was 2005.
And it was so disgusting that Republican senators, one that I can remember specifically, Deb Fisher from Nebraska, was so offended by it, she says, I cannot support him for president. And I withdraw my endorsement of him. She did that on a Friday. By Monday, she had changed her position again because she had gotten so much blowback from her base. Wow. So, you know, there's blowback and then there's blow up, I guess, I don't know. So I think when people in these other districts, in these red states, recognize that he's jeopardizing our country, if that's what happens. I want to talk to you on a slightly global sense. We have a potential of being at war within 6 months if we're not careful. And so it's really going to require these Republican senators who are knowledgeable to speak out. One of the things I might recommend that you do is to the John McCains and the Lindsey Grahams, write them
Yeah.
and tell them, while you don't live in their states, you really appreciate the fact that they're speaking truth to power, because they understand the global foreign implications of so many things that the president does not yet appreciate. Now I will say that, you know, his Secretary of Defense is very knowledgeable and well regarded on both sides of the aisle. So I'm hopeful that he will have his ear. The extent to which, you know, some of the other people in the White House who have no experience whatsoever, or who are, you know, maybe not what we would say middle of the road or solid. I'm thinking of one in particular whose name I won't. That's what we have to be concerned
But
about.
a child doesn't always listen to his teachers or his other people. So the truth of it is, this man is like a child up here. He's still playing, he's playing. He gets upset at personal things that come from citizens, and he'll tweet about it.
Yeah.
We have to think about the fact that, you know, the reality of it is that he got upset that his press secretary was not strong enough and enforceable enough telling the people that he had more people at his inauguration. That's a child's mind up there that we're dealing with. You can't say that he's making cabinet selections that are going to not affect the grassroots of all of America.
So one of the things we have to do is, you know, try to compel him to bring the country together.
I don't think that's his
Now,
interest.
I don't, but you know what? He has a very healthy ego.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what a president needs to do. He says he wants to heal the wounds. Let's, you know.
Tell him to do that.
Okay,
Like his
yes.
hair first, and then
He
keep it
does not
nice.
seem like a person who will take instruction from anybody. And I don't know that at his age, he's going to completely change and take all of the people in this room and so many people that don't agree with what he's doing and convince us that he's actually going to change. I also don't, to agree with what he was saying. How far are we gonna let this guy go?
Yes.
At what point do we actually have to do more than write a letter? That's what I wanna know. Because I feel like he is gonna make a point and he's gonna continue to be aggressive in his policies. He does not seem to care what people think.
Here's my response to that. He can say a lot of things, he can waive a lot of these executive actions, but until and unless the Congress of the United States authorizes and appropriates, he cannot do most of this.
There's a good majority.
So, but what can he do?
Okay, yes.
Thank you. You know, I know we've said many times that reaching out to representatives outside, you know, where we're not constituents is not necessarily effective. However, when bills are in committee, does reaching out to those committee members, is that effective?
I'm sorry,
That's
I
okay.
was whispering in my ear.
When bills are in committee, is it effective to reach out to those committee members before it even, say, gets all the way to the floor?
It's a good question, and I'm not sure that I have the right answer. Because I think of myself in committee, and in the end, I'm elected by the people in my district. So if I have, like for instance, I've been very critical of the littoral combat ship. And we're spending a lot of money on these ships, and they sink, and they've got, everyone that's been, you know, put out on the water has got, so if a lot of people in the district where they're being manufactured wrote to me, it's not going to persuade me. So I think, and yet on SOPA and PIPA, it had a huge effect. So social media can be effective when it's a real intense effort. Yes.
Thank you again for being here. I'm Lori. And a couple of things I tried, and I don't know whether this was helpful or not, but on the Russia part of it, when I did hear Lindsey Graham and John McCain speak out, I did call their office. And I redialed. I did not do the voicemail. I just kept redialing it over and over and over again until somebody answered. And I thanked them. I said, I just want to say that. I didn't say where I was from. I said, my name's Lori. I was polite to them. So they listened to me, and I thanked them. Now this week, when the vote went for Rex Tillerson, I called back and I said, I called a couple weeks ago, and thank you, for standing up. And unfortunately, this week I'm calling because I'm very disappointed. I thought, now I feel like the message is that the president can bully anyone. And they said, thank you for your opinion. I mean, they were very nice. I've called 14 different ones on all of this. Now, if I'm doing something that's not helpful, I'd rather put my energy somewhere else. But I called everyone on all of the cabinet members. I called 14 in one day until I got through to every single one of their offices.
Good for you.
So, it's not about me, and I saw this during the election too. I went over to Reno one day, and I said, I asked my husband, I said, I gotta go before the election, get the vote out. I met wonderful people. People were thanking me, and I go, no, look at all these people from California. I'm proud of California. There was a man that was there on my group that went canvassing that'd been there for 21 days and done it. There were people that had been flying to Las Vegas from the Bay Area doing it. Are these things that are helpful to change election results 2 years from now? How do we organize? How do we keep this momentum going that we did have from the march on Saturday? I think that's what everybody, a lot of people that are first-time activists, and I'm right there with you. And
How many of you are first-time activists?
We want to know how to organize and be effective and help one another. We all have different issues, some of us, all of them. We're getting overwhelmed. And we're saying, what can I do? Who do I, and we all need to stay together instead of, oh, well, this is my issue and this is my issue. On Saturday, we were all supporting everybody that was in that march, whatever your strongest issue was. How do we keep that going as first-time activists? The phone calls, okay, I got it. If that's working, if I need to send postcards, okay. But we all want to do more. Can we get up and go somewhere? Can we get up and organize and not get overwhelmed, as somebody else said here? Pick an issue. I'm telling people that all the time. I'm overwhelmed too. Pick one, pick up the phone one day. Say, this is what I'm going to do today. And it gets you on to the next step, I'm finding.
That's really good advice. I mean, I don't know that I have any more to add to that at this point. I think that the march was very significant. I think it has legs, no pun intended. And I think that there will be more. My sense is that you're going to see, you're going to see an evolution on this. And
The scientists are marching.
I think the numbers matter. The numbers do matter. Now we're coming to the end of the 5 o'clock hour, so I'm going to take one more. Okay, right there. She's been waiting.
So I'm an insurance agent, and and a lot of things with the Affordable Care Act that passed were really wonderful. But it was also very frustrating to see all the opposition of the Republicans that we couldn't ever get things fixed that didn't work.
Right.
And one of the things I'm concerned about is that if you put an idea in front of a Democrat and say, this is supported by Democrats, they just don't even read it, they just support it. And the same if you say it's opposed by Republicans, people don't necessarily think deeply about these things. And I can tell you, as an insurance agent, our insurance system is broken. And now, okay, so they're gonna go in and they're gonna make some changes. And I don't want everybody to just have that knee-jerk reaction of anything anybody else says that's not a Democrat, it's gotta be wrong, because there are lots of problems. I can tell you, middle-class people are paying $1,000 a month per person for their health insurance. It can't go on. And so I just want us to be open to ideas and not look at who's, putting them out there first, and realize changes are gonna come, and let's try and, find some good solutions.
Fact-based.
All right, we're going to bring this to a close. I don't know that I have assuaged any concerns here, but I think it's really important for us to talk it through. It's important for all of us to come together. It's important for us to stay clear about what this is all about. It's about protecting this democracy. It's about making sure that everyone's vote counts and that you all be heard, not just by me, but by your president and everyone else. So thank you all for joining us.